G'day guys, I'm Jess Skarratt. Welcome to Surfing Australia TV. Well, I tell you what, we have a killer show planned for you today from a legendary surfboard shaper, an amazing filmmaker, Power Surfers, the Australian Surf Festival. Seriously, we have got it covered. Here's a bit of a montage to get you excited. Surfing Australia has announced the Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle Series 3. This is so super exciting. It's the country's biggest grassroots board riders event. $110,000 up for grabs. How good is that? Time now to cross to Cronulla for the national launch.
It's fantastic to be back in Sydney. Cronulla Beach, such an iconic surfing location.
I guess you kind of get carried away in a sense of travelling the world on an elite level tour, but when you always come home, it's coming home to your family and friends and where you started from. And I think being able to compete alongside them again in your local town, your local area, and then bring it to a stage like the Board Riders Battle here in Cronulla, and make our club the best club in Australia.
Surfing as an individual, you just obviously surfing for yourself, but surfing for a club like Snapper, you come here and you're surfing for your other team members that are there with you on the day, but you also surf for all the people back home and the people at the surf club watching on, so it's pretty tough, but it's fun at the same time.
The purpose of the Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle is really to build the profile and to build the capacity of board riders clubs, and the last 3 years of this program has seen some outstanding results in that space.
I've been in the club most of my life. We're 38 years old, and in the last 2 years that this contest has been here, it's boosted our grommets by about 15%.
We've injected over $260,000 in prize money in the last 3 years into board riders clubs, and this year we're offering $110,000 prize money, so we'll be furthering that investment into clubs.
Yeah, we're really proud to be working with Surfing Australia and really to be supporting grassroots surfing and the spirit of the board riders clubs. And we feel like the intensity the event brings really aligns well to our brand. The finals are just electric. I think the competitive spirit that the teams have and the real intense battle that plays out on the day is just a fantastic experience to be part of, and you really feel that on the beach and through the coverage.
We're going to have something like 500 domestic and international visitors here over the Australia Day weekend, and about 250,000 people watching Cronulla live on Fox Sports.
I think Snapper always had a target. We had a pretty solid team. I think we have a little format change coming up this year, and I think it's going to be really hard to try and back it up a third time. But our team will submit. Will be pretty confident in that team.
It isn't just about having natural ability. It's about unlocking your body's maximum potential. We believe, through state-of-the-art scientific research and the most advanced athlete-tested product development, we will unlock the power to build the perfect athlete. Real athletes, real science, Muscle Farm.
I'm your average surfer, I guess, yeah. I actually didn't know that coaching was available to people that were just recreational surfers.
I feel like a lot of the time I'm missing out on the best part of the wave. And they pointed out a lot of my weaknesses, and it really improved my surfing pretty much instantly.
Become a better surfer. Get online, book a camp at surfingaustraliahpc.com.
It will be club versus club, mate versus mate, when Australia's top surfers put friendship aside in the $110,000 original source Australian Board Riders Battle this summer. More than 60 of the country's best board riders clubs will compete across 8 state events, culminating in a national final at Cronulla, New South Wales on the 23rd and 24th of January. With skins, women's and teams disciplines, which club will reign supreme in Series 3?
Milwaukee Tools and Surfing Australia have joined forces to produce the Milwaukee Power Surfers, a 6-part series profiling Aussie tradies who rip. Time now for episode 5 with Gold Coast Sparky and Shredder, Geordie Harrington.
My name's Geordie Harrington. I'm from Coolangatta, Queensland. I'm 18 years old and I'm second year in my electrical apprenticeship. Yeah, I work for CNL Electrical. I got introduced to them because my boss and my tradesmen, they all use Milwaukee. It's good to have all the same equipment, then you can swap if you need to swap batteries. It's just good to get to know like the brand you're using. I started surfing when I was around 4 or 5. I remember Dad just pushing me in when I was younger, and like it was mainly from my brother's influence, like seeing them surf and how like they were travelling and stuff like that pushed me to like want to do what they're doing. Yeah, my brothers Sean and Dean Harrington started their own brand called the Mad Hueys. I'm not going to go like what they do, they just carry on a bit. I'm a bit more switched on, as you could say. Yeah, growing up in Coolangatta is a pretty special place, like always waves, always something to do, especially when you get older. With the impact driver, there's 3 speed sets, so like if you want to go fast you can, but when I was just taking off that power point before, I had on just the slowest, so that way it was just a firm, steady and just didn't jump out of the place. Life's good, just working and surfing, got good hours and whatnot. Now I've got a whole new, brand new toolkit, so I'm stoked, I'll be stoked to get to work now.
The Milwaukee Power Surfer Series, profiling heavy-duty tradies that rip. From the building site to the beach, we'll take you behind the scenes for a day in their life. See their tools of the trade both in and out of the water in these monthly features playing across MySurf TV and SATV.
The rad crew from MySurf TV are always going the extra yard to bring us the best surfing stories from around the world. But it's not just about epic surfing footage. They'll even share a few handy tips to improve your surfing. Check it out.
Forehand cutback, really fun move. It's perfect for linking up. It's a linking turn, so it brings you back to the power of the wave. Good when a wave fattens up. A really good forehand cutback is one smooth on-rail carving turn with a big rebound, and then ideally you get a nice high finish off the foam or the lip. One thing I see with a lot of surfers is they struggle to get a rebound off their cutback. And usually this happens because at the start of their carve, they push too hard and they extend their legs out too soon. The board comes off rail and you lose that speed that you need to get all the way back to the whitewater. What you need to do is, when you start it, is just to stay nice and low and slowly look back to the pocket and just guide the board on rail back to the foam. Cutbacks feel that good. When you nail it, they're so fun.
Early morning netball, it's sideline coffee time. The boys begin stretching. Soccer's next, let's ride. Need another latte to cheer on the team. Dad and the 4 kids exhausted. Mum will be up for a week.
Introducing the all-new Kluger, Australia's latest and greatest place to raise a family. It will be club versus club, mate versus mate, when Australia's top surfers put friendship aside in the $110,000 original source Australian Board Riders Battle this summer. More than 60 of the country's best board riders clubs will compete across 8 state events, culminating in a national final at Cronulla, New South Wales on the 23rd and 24th of January. With skins, women's and teams disciplines, which club will reign supreme in Series 3?
The beautiful Coffs Harbour region recently became Australia's surfing hotspot when it hosted the BCU Australian Surf Festival. More than 400 of our country's top surfers contested national titles in shortboard, longboard, logger and bodyboarding divisions. Check out the highlights.
The competition kicked off in pumping waves for the Australian Surf Masters titles, which ran from the 1st to the 5th of August. The Surf Masters division of the festival crowned champions across 9 disciplines, including the prestigious Open men's and women's titles. It attracted some of the country's best wave riders, from over 35s all the way through to our over 60s, who all put on a cracking show in some excellent conditions. With the completion of the Surf Masters titles, the festival once again welcomed the Australian longboard titles, which took centre stage of the festival window and ran from the 6th to the 13th of August at Arrawarra Headland and Gallows Beach. Best longboarders in Australia lit up the 2 event sites with silky skills, oozing style and class while competing for the coveted Australian longboard title crown. The longboard titles saw prestigious titles awarded across 15 disciplines, with the Open men's and women's longboard title the #1 scalp for surfers. Macca was a dual Australian title holder, something that he was extremely proud of. His surfing was so stylistic, just an amazing logger surfer and an amazing longboard surfer. But you know what, he could jump on anything that had a fin, Macca could ride. He was a true gentleman. He will be sadly missed. After a highly successful Australian longboard titles, the festival continued with the Australian bodyboard titles, which ran from the 13th to the 17th of August at the scenic Digger Beach in optimal conditions. Boasting 10 divisions ranging from Groms to Grandmasters, the Australian bodyboard titles were yet again a great success.
We've got some more great stories from the MySurf TV crew. First, we're sitting down with filmmaker Dick Hull, who has some rare footage of the great Michael Peterson. Then we're going to catch up with legendary surfboard shaper Dick Van Stralen. Check it out.
You remember all those classic tubes you used to get out here?
Yeah, from the grind all the way through to the second to the hut. Yeah, as many as I could get. Paddle straight back out and get as many as I could get away from everybody else.
We can scatter to the sea.
No one knew him. I mean, did he have a lot of friends? Well, I knew him up there as a surfer. I knew it'd be a good idea if I was down on the beach when he paddled out, because he was worth shooting, but I can't actually say we were great mates and we didn't hung out together.
Sing for a queen.
They didn't understand it was a disease. You know, there was schizophrenia. They thought he was too stoned. You know, it's not only that he experimented with drugs, everybody experimented with drugs. I didn't really get to know him until a long time after his surfing career was finished, and I realised there was a person there that, you know, I could connect with.
Let them see.
Michael, your shaping really came on too with the tube riding, so that must have helped you shape surfboards. What used to go through your head when you were making the boards for the waves?
Mainly so I could sit back inside the tube and wouldn't spin out.
Yes, it is. Not now. Songbird, I wish for you to sing. I'll be singing for my queen.
When you grew up, you and PT and Rabbit always used to have competitions out here.
PT and Rabbit, yeah. Wayne Dean. There was a few old surfers who said were really good too.
He was competing with everybody, so you never really got to know him or got inside his head.
Michael, what was it like in the day out there?
What was it like in the day out there? Pretty crowded. It was always crowded. But I managed to get every wave to myself all the way through from the point. Yeah, they never dropped in on me at all. They left me alone, but all the rest used to drop in on each other.
He just took off at Kira behind the point, pulled into the tube. Even if you were filming from the land, you'd give up before later on, way down the inside near the second grind, he pops out. You know, and the people in the water knew, they just hear a whistle or something. But
I remember when they tried to drop in on you, used to give out that piercing whistle.
Yeah, a whistle from the tube. Make sure they all listened, make sure they all knew there was somebody behind them.
The thing was, am I shooting an empty wave, or is Michael going to emerge from that at some stage?
We will know we've got to listen to what we sing.
What went on in his head, he never gave interviews. You know, the famous saying is, I could say, but I won't. All that wasn't because he was too stoned, it was just his ability to deal with people. Whereas in the water, it was kind of all that was his environment, and that's where he came to life. And he just kept his mouth shut, and his surfing did the talking for him. And that was such a good strategy, they're still talking about it now, a long time after he's gone.
Tell me something we should know. Wish away, there's something we should know.
So, surfing Kira Point, how many barrels do you reckon you had out there?
Thousands. Every wave was a barrel I got.
We can scatter to the sea.
I'm your average surfer, I guess, yeah. I actually didn't know that coaching was available to people that were just recreational surfers.
Become a better surfer. Get online, book a camp at surfingaustraliahpc.com.
For the ultimate experience this summer, check out the Wahoo Surfer Groms comps. With lots of surfing, beach games and heaps of giveaways. There's serious fun to be had at the 10 events right across Australia, catering for micro-groms aged from under 8 through to 14. Plus, you'll have the chance to win one of 20 all-expenses-paid Wahoo Surf Camp at the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre. Hurry, head to surfingaustralia.com to enter. Wahoo Surfer Groms comps, Aussie as.
Time now to catch up with shaper Dick Van Stralen to chat about his incredible handmade surfboards.
I moved to the Gold Coast in '69, but I started shaping it in the late 50s, early 60s, just doing backyard stuff. A lot of surfers today wouldn't realise how easy it was to live here then. Like rents were about $6 a week. It was mainly all just surfing because the only people who surfed were the people in the surfboard industry. At Burleigh in the late 60s, early 70s, during the week you'd mostly have 10 people out at the most. I was in a shop in London called Bieber's, and that was a fashion shop, and they had that carved. I looked at that, and that's an ancient Greek symbol. These wings here, what it resembles is the wings are for freedom, that's for love, balance, and cobras are for alertness or passion. I'm just doing something I enjoy doing. Whether I'm good or not, I don't know. You know, you don't know because you're the most probably yourself, you're the hardest judge on what you're doing. Now here's something interesting in the surfboard world. This is a Viso. Right? These are moulded in a mould with pre-preg carbon. These come out of a mould weighing 2 kilos. The people who made this are a 3-generation family company. The grandfather did the spaceships to go on the moon. The father does all the American Cup yachts, and the son was doing these of Visos. There's a formula. Volume minus mass equals acceleration, right? So if you have less mass in your surfboard, the faster you go. Just unbelievable, but we can't afford it. That's the most technological soundboard in the world, but we can't afford to have them. There's not many people who want to pay $2,000 for a short surfboard. Well, styrofoam's the oldest foam in the world. It's been around since the 30s. This foam doesn't float any better. If you know basic physics, when you use styrofoam and epoxy, everything that's got the same volume, same weight, everything, they'll float exactly the same, whether they're made out of steel, whatever. With styrofoam, you're making it do what it wants to do. It's hydrophobic and it wants to be on top of the water. So if you help it be on top of the water and reduce the amount of board that's in the water, the quicker you go. Out of all the fishes I do, this is called a hydro hull. It's the most popular fish by far. It's the very first fish I made rasta, one of these. It's unbelievable. Everyone that rides them just can't believe them. Because of the way we're shaping it, it has concave deck, this board gets a lot of twists like this. I think personal touch is still the best thing you can possibly do. You know, you go into surf shops that you see computer-shaped boards, they're all standing there and they look like dummies. 3 years ago, we went to the Quicksilver with a laser scanner and scanned all the boards, and not many of them, with the measurements on the bottom, was what they scanned. And there's people believing what's on the bottom. It's the mistakes we make by hand doing it, it's the things that usually turn out to be unbelievable. If you look at everything, and you look at surfboards and then you go to the beach and look, there's a lot of curves that are exactly the same. In surfboards, in the ocean, in the sky, everywhere, and it's called a slalom curve. That just looks like a headland, you know, or point. You go here, looks like a wave. It's interesting, and that's what's called a slalom curve. It's a curve of acceleration and deacceleration, and that's the biggest thing they have in surfboards. I hate the word retro because retro means regression, all right? And I think everything we're making today is modern. That's how I look at it. Everything today is on the ball today. And the other thing I believe in, there's no such thing as a mistake because everything works. We did a board for Rasta, right? And I put the fins on crooked by purpose. So here's your thruster like this, right? And how they toe in like this. Well, we had the fins like this. Surfed it for a year. said, this board goes unbelievable. Then Jim Banks picks it up one day and looks at it. Do you know the fins are on crooked? And he said, no. And I said to Dave, I said, shows you, if you don't take it on board, makes no difference. People should look at their variety of music and then look at their surfboards. Because every board sings a song. And that's basically what surfing's about. It's some sort of rhythm that you're doing or you're playing out in the sea.
You can watch those stories again and loads more videos online at mysurf.tv.
I've been surfing for sort of about 4 years now. I would say my ability level is average, which is why I've come here to sort of improve the way I'm surfing.
Become a better surfer. Get online, book a camp at surfingaustraliahpc.com.
It will be club versus club, mate versus mate, when Australia's top surfers put friendship aside in the $110,000 original source Australian Board Riders Battle this summer. More than 60 of the country's best board riders clubs will compete across 8 state events, culminating in a national final at Cronulla, New South Wales on the 23rd and 24th of January. With skins, women's and teams disciplines, which club will reign supreme in Series 3?
That's all we've got time for on today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. For more info on anything that you've seen on today's show, just head to our website and don't forget to follow us on social media. I'm Jess Skarratt and I'll see you next time for more Surfing Australia TV.